talk what are now the 6 dimensions of a college application. Now, this sounds boring because there are only 6 dimensions I've put here. If I asked Freya or Tosca, they would come with 10 more. But the key thing is all your dimensions have to hum together. It has to be a poem. As Tosca was saying, you don't want your audience confused. They should be able to look at your transcript, your extracurriculars, and your recommendations and literally guess where you're going to go, or should be able to almost in some ways predict what your essays are going to say by just looking at the activities, the recommendations, and your what subjects you took. Because and that's typically the order they look in. Easiest is to look at the extracurriculars or the transcripts or vice versa, then recommendations, and then they go and look at the essays, because essays are a lot harder to read for anybody, right? So you want to peel the onion slowly, but you want it all coherently figured out together. Key thing over here is, what is this glue? Because when I showed this slide to Tosca, she was like, okay, wait a minute, you made it too mechanical. And, go ahead, Tosca, if you have perspective on, how these things come together.
Oh, for sure. I think my sister is a great example of this. So I'll talk about her for a moment. When I think about why I love my sister, what I think is amazing about her, I don't think of her SAT score, even though she did really well in the SAT. And I don't think about her GPA, even though she works really hard in her classes. I think about the fact that she's a hard worker, and I think about the fact that she's super caring. And I loved what you were saying about how you should be able to kind of predict from someone's resume where they're going. But in some ways, I think the glue that holds something together could be the thing that makes it all click into place and make it make sense. My sister's a great example of that, because if I told you she likes flying planes, riding motorcycles, playing hockey, and doing astrophysics, you might be like, how is that all related? What is that? Like, why would she do all these random things? It's because she wants to be an astronaut, right? She has the physical prowess, the desire to learn about astrophysics, and she's kind of a risk taker, right? That's why she flies planes. She literally got her private pilot's license in high school and her motorcycle license in high school. She also does scuba. So all of those things click into place when you realize why she gets out of the bed in the morning. She wants to be an astronaut, and she's now going to go get her PhD in astrophysics. So it was true. Like, these things were all things she would be doing even if she wasn't applying to college. So I think that glue of what is getting up in the morning, and a way to measure, is this glue, or is this something kind of like this soft and tangible thing about who I am or why I care about my friends? That's kind of what pulls all these puzzle pieces together and makes them make sense.
I mean, you can see her as a dreamer, right? I mean, every time I talk to your sister as well, and one of my favorite pet peeves with her is I'll say, Pluto that's a mistake. It should have been a planet. And you can go in a rant with her for like hours, where she justifies the fact that Pluto has no business being called a planet, because she's intrigued about that whole thing. She can talk for hours on that subject, and that's still who she is. So yeah, I hear you.